All right, y'all. I know I was gone for week 2 for the recap, but hey, I've returned back from week 3. I was just on vacation for a little bit, but let's get into it. Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. Miami Dolphins should just shut it down, blow it up because it's over. Tyreek Hill doesn't want to be there. Obviously, I think the Tua and Waddle and Hill relationship is just a wreck right now. And I think Mike McDaniels is not being respected in that locker room as a good head coach. Buffalo Bills didn't even have the best games, especially Josh Allen, and they still was able to win the game. So I think it's over for the Dolphins. Good job for the Bills doing what you needed to do. Bengals and Vikings with clearly without Joe Burrow, the Bengals are trash. 48-10, and Carson Wentz was the quarterback. So yeah, no, Jake Browning was no. Without Joe Burrow, the Bengals aren't going anywhere. It was going to be hard with Joe Burrow because of the Bengals defense. Now without him, yeah, I think their season, it looks like it might be over if Jake Brown is going to be starting for the foreseeable future. Texans and the Jags. CJ Stroud, we got to talk about him. I mean, he's doesn't look like he's gotten better. I understand he doesn't have the weapons that he had 2 years ago or even last year. Majority of them are still injury or still like on injury reserve right now. All he has right now is Nico Collins, but still, I mean, it's like if your best season was your rookie year, that's a problem. That is a problem. Shout out to the Jags doing what they were able to get the win. Wasn't pretty, but Texas got some stuff to work out. Again, it's week 3, but still, I don't like what I'm seeing from CJ Stroud. Also, Travis Hunter, he played a little bit better as a receiver. But other than that, I just CJ Stroud, get him some weapon. Like he didn't get his weapons back, but he still needs to get his confidence back because right now it's not looking too good. Colts and Titans. Daniel Jones has looked like a top 3 quarterback in the league. He looks like he's in the running for MVP. I mean, he's running for touchdowns, throwing for touchdowns, being very efficient. It just looks like he had to just all he did was had to change the scenery. The Giants was a bad influence for him. Now he has a fresh start and new life with the Colts, and he hasn't looked back. And the thing is, he's been so comfortable that no team yet has put him in a position to where he has to get uncomfortable and change the scheme or anything. Like they bootlegged the Titans to death on Sunday, and the running game was pretty good. Jonathan Taylor, healthy. I love what I'm seeing from the Colts right now. And as for the Titans, they got some stuff to Cam Ward, I know I was expecting Cam Ward to I don't know, maybe I was expecting Cam Ward to have like a breakout year, maybe like Jaden Daniels or CJ Stroud rookie year. But it looks like he's going to be more on the side of like a Caleb Williams type of season, where it's like it's a struggle. It's a struggle because of the team that's around him. But yeah, the Colts are looking very special right now. But again, they're very special through 3 weeks. Undefeated through 3 weeks. We still got 14 more weeks to go. 15 more weeks to go, but 14 more games. Commanders and the Raiders. Jaden Daniels doesn't look like he's in a sophomore slump right now. So I'm enjoying what I'm seeing from him. Terry McLaurin and that chemistry is getting better and better because, again, he was out pretty much all training camp. He was trying to get his contract. The Raiders, I don't know. I mean, it's Geno Smith. So, but again, they're playing a really good team in the Commanders. The Commanders have a good defense. They've upgraded, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's gonna get. You got to give Pete Carroll some time. Give Pete Carroll some time. That offense is still trying to gel together. Speaking of offense, I don't know why Chip Kelly's offensive coordinator. I mean, they're not using Brock Bowers right. You're not using Alvin Gentry right. So I don't know what Tom Brady and that coaching staff was thinking, getting Chip Kelly on. But again, it's still week 3. Let's see how it is in week 7. But still, every week I'm just trying to see what is the Raiders offense. I don't know right now. Rams and the Eagles. I think the Rams were the better team, but the Eagles are champions and they know how to win. But if it wasn't for that field goal block that got returned for a touchdown, the Rams would have been We would have been talking about the Rams like, oh yeah, they'd be the defending champs. Say what you want about Jalen Hurts, man. He's a winner. That's all I can say. He's a winner. That team's a winner. I thought A.J. Brown was going to suck for me in fantasy as well, but he came to life in the second half. So, I think we're going to see these two teams again in the playoffs. But I do believe that the Rams are still a better team than the Eagles. I still do believe that because the Rams, I believe, gave that game away too. It was more so of what the Rams weren't doing in the second half versus what the Eagles were doing. Falcons and the Panthers, kind of a shocker to me how the Panthers was able to blow out the Falcons like that. But it's a division rival, so I guess expect the unexpected. But I expect 30-0. Bryce Young, it looked decent, but Michael Penix looked awful in this game. Like, oh, jeez. But it's the NFC South. I think the only good team right now you have is the Buccaneers, which we'll get into them later. But Jesus, 30-0. Week 3, they're both, I think, they're 1-2 now? Or they're 2-1, let me see. I think, they're both 1-2, so, we're going to just skip that game over, let's just say Panthers did what they had to do, got the home win. They're pretty desperate because you don't want to go 0-3. At least one win gives you some hope, So, good job for the Panthers. Boot to behind. Let's see. Steelers and Patriots. Like what I saw from Aaron Rodgers. I like what I saw on that defense. The defense, I really like what I saw on that defense today. Like they only gave up 14 points. That's how that defense should have been looking like. But you got to remember, this is a veteran defense. This is not a young team. This is an older team. So you got to give them some time to catch back up. I knew the defense, they were going to get it together. I'm just glad they got it together after, a little bit, in week 3. So they're going to keep getting better. But you need to see some improvement. You need to see signs that, okay, they can stop a nosebleed. Like they don't have to give up more. They don't have to give up 20 points. They don't have to give up 30 points like they did last week. So I like what I saw. Mike Tomlin is getting them together. Aaron Rodgers still looking pretty good. Didn't have to do too much. This is more of a defensive bout, I think, for both sides. So with the Patriots, Mike Vrabel, you're playing against another great coach, but you did lose at home. But Drake May is only in his second year, new system, so it's gonna get better. It's gonna come along a little bit better. You just got to give that some time as well. Again, this is all in week 3, guys. But right now we're seeing where the Steelers are and where the Patriots are going, and just the improvements and strides that Drake May has to make with Josh McDaniel's system. The Packers and the Browns. Very defensive game. That was a very defensive style game. If you're a fan of defense and low scoring, this was the game for you. If you weren't, you probably changed the channel like probably by the second half. No, probably by the end of the first half because you kind of knew. Yeah, they were only up by 3, and it was just 3-0. Jordan Love turned into the old Jordan Love at the end of the fourth quarter, throwing that pick. But that was a great play by the DB. But the Browns scored all their points literally in that 3-minute span on the fourth quarter. So pretty much you could say the Packers should have won that game, and they gave it away to the Browns. But the Browns, I'll say, took that game because they blocked the field goal, and then you had to get the turnover, and you still was able to score points. The Packers are still 2-1. I think that was a good, decent trap game because, again, if you're the Packers, you're expecting – I don't think you're expecting them – you're not expecting to blow out the Browns, but you're expecting, okay, it's the Cleveland Browns. Like, who respects the Cleveland Browns, especially after getting shellacked by the Baltimore Ravens? But good job for the Browns winning your home opener, showing some grit and some toughness. And again, it gives you hope. You don't want to go 0-3. You want to at least get 1. 1-2 sounds so much better than 0-3. So much better than 0-3. So good job for the Browns hanging in there, showing resiliency, and actually beating a decent team. Jordan Love, has some kinks to work out. You can't turn the ball over at that point in time. Not in that spot. You got to win that game. But like what I saw from the Browns defense, like what I saw from the Browns at the end, great resiliency. Packers, don't worry, they'll be fine. They got a much bigger challenge ahead coming up this week. Jets and the Buccaneers. I mean, these comebacks against these bad teams are, really astonishing for Baker Mayfield. But I don't think, he's clutch. Let me say this. He's clutch. Yes, he is. But if you're being clutch against these type of teams, you're not even playing the good teams yet. You're not playing the good teams yet. The Jets have yet to show me that they're a good team. They haven't shown me that yet. Against the Falcons, look at the Falcons. They just got blown up by the Panthers. So I think the Buccaneers. Good. A win is still a win. So you're happy to get the win, and you are undefeated. So you are 3-0. But you're 3-0 against some bad teams. So I need to see a little bit more from Baker Mayfield. I'm not going to call him the most clutch quarterback in the league right now. I'm not going to do that. It's in the regular season, and it's only through 3 weeks. We got to see how they develop. We got to see what happens when they actually play the good teams. See what happens then. And the Jets they got bigger issues to worry about. They got some stuff to work on, but again, it's a new system, new head coach, Aaron Glenn. So I'm gonna give them some grace. Still only through 3 weeks. Chargers and the Broncos. I like what I'm seeing from Justin Herbert. He is winning the games that he has to win. They're also undefeated, so I'm really excited about the Chargers. The Broncos, Bo Nix. Broncos are 1-2 right now. But again, that division is tough. But the Chiefs are 1-2 right now, so you're not in a terrible spot. But still, but the Chargers are a really good team, y'all. Like, they are a solid team. And Justin Herbert is showing that he can legit now. We can have some conversations later on if he continues on this path to being a top 5 quarterback. Not a top 5 quarterback in terms of talent, like an actual top 5, top 10 quarterback. So I like the Harbaugh has done a great job with him. That offense now, prayers up to Najee Harris. He's going to be out for the year. That was an Achilles rupture. Hopefully, I don't know what's going to happen. An Achilles rupture for a running back is pretty much like a career ender, in my opinion. But I think the Chargers are still going to be fine. With the Broncos, it's the sophomore slump. Almost every quarterback goes through it. And Bo Nix is going through it right now. He's getting some different looks that he didn't see last year. And Sean Payton, is his job to coach him up. And I believe he'll be better by week 7, week 8. But, for the first 3 weeks right now, it's been a struggle for that team. It is what it is, but shout out to the Chargers for getting the win. Seahawks and Saints. Saints were down by 30 in the first half. Yeah, the game was over by halftime. And then scratch that. The game was over by the end of the first quarter. Not much to say there. Saints are not a good team right now. Seahawks, they did with that 12th man really showed itself on Sunday, but I don't know what else you want me to say. The Saints are trash. Saints are 0-3. One of the things I said you don't want to do is start off 0-3, even though it's the beginning of the season. Well, ta-da, the Saints are 0-3. There you go. Seahawks put boots behind, and Spencer Rattler, showing some signs, but again, new team, new coach, and I don't expect much from them this year. I'm going to be honest with you. I stopped watching the game by the beginning of the second quarter. It was awful. Bears and Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb goes out with that ankle. I think that changed the whole mood of the game because now you're relying on George Pickens, and George Pickens' hands right now are what happened to him? Caleb Williams had his best game. He had the clear gloss on his nails this time, and I think that was the difference. I think it was a difference. You have to make it look like you didn't get your nails painted, even though you got your nails painted. Good trickery plays. He was on time for most of the game. He didn't get sacked not one time. So that's more for me to say about what the Cowboys defense wasn't doing. Sounds like to me it looked like you could have used a nice good pass rusher, like, I don't know, Micah Parsons. But again, Cowboys 1-2. The Bears finally got one win on the board, so it gives them some hope that, hey, maybe the season won't be terrible. You are closer to 2-2 than you are 1-3. That's how I look at it. It's the beginning of the season still, but this was definitely Caleb Williams' best game. He was on time, in rhythm. He had time in the pocket. He wasn't fidgety in the pocket. He was able to stand tall and deliver the ball where it needed to be. So I liked what I saw from Caleb Williams, but again, it is the Cowboys defense. So and the Cowboys defense made Russell Wilson look like, Seattle Seahawks Russell Wilson from like 5 years ago. So, I got to pump the brakes. But again, if you're a part of that locker room, you want to see some signs, some growth, even if it was against a bad defense. Even if it was against a bad defense, I'm giving you that. The fact that he was still able to ball out and be efficient against the bad defense says a lot. 49ers and the Cardinals, Brock Purdy got all that money and still hasn't only played one game. Now you're around on Mac Jones. And you still got the win. And Marvin Harrison Jr., what the heck is going on with you? What happened to it's mental. It is mental with him right now because he dropped a wide open crosser route that he could have took 75 yards to the house. And if you're a fantasy football owner, I don't have Marvin Harrison Jr. I learned from my lesson from last year. But if you have him on your fantasy team, you thought he was going to have a breakout year. It's week 3, but Jesus, man, what happened to your hands? Like, he's costing the Cardinals some of these games right now. I'm not going to lie. Like, he was wide open and everything. But, again, let's refresher. 49ers are doing what they have to do against some of these terrible teams right now. They almost lost this game to the Cardinals, but again, the Cardinals, I think some of the skilled players are not playing as skilled right now. Let's just say that. Through 3 weeks, I can't really give you a grade on the 49ers right now. The quarterback's not there. The quarterback's not there right now. So right now, Kyle Shanahan is, making lemons out of lemonade. And so far, so good. We got to see what happens next week. And, I want to see where they are by week 7, week 8, week 9. Chiefs and the Giants, kind of going to go real fast on this one. Kind of just skip this one on this one. Russell Wilson throwing those moon balls, forcing the ball to Malik Neighbors, and getting himself picked off. I think it's time, the way it's going, you'll see Jackson Dart by week 5. You'll see Jackson Dart by week 5, as a starter, in my opinion. If the ship doesn't get righted right now, like if they don't get this right, you're gonna see Jackson Dart pretty soon. Because aside from the Dallas Cowboys game, Russell Wilson has not looked good. That offense has not looked good. So shout out to the Chiefs beating a bad team. And then, because, again, the Chiefs don't look that good right now, if we're being honest. They're 1-2. But, they got the win. A win is a win. A win is a win. But if you're both of these teams, you're not excited about your future right now. You won't be excited for another 5 weeks, if we're being honest. For the Chiefs, at least. For the Giants, you have a lot to work on. You got a lot to work on. If anything, there's probably, that Giants defensive line, you're wasting Dexter Lawrence's prime right now. You're wasting him by how bad that offense is playing, by how bad that offense is. Get Jackson Dart in, get some spark into this team, get some spark into this offense. Because, again, man, the Giants, the Dexter Lawrence, a few players on that defense deserve better than this. Malik Neighbors deserves better than this. And then last night, Ravens and the Detroit Lions. Lamar Jackson gets sacked 7 times. He had 3 touchdowns, but he got sacked 7 times. The numbers are good and all, but if you're not winning these games, a lot of the media is going to start saying, you know what, it's empty stats. It's like empty calories. You got to win the games and you got to play well and still win the games. And when you're taking these sacks because you're trying to run around, trying to make the big play, what's going to happen is just that, you're getting your team out of scoring range. Like there's a few times just throw the ball away. Aaron Rodgers in his prime was number 1 in throwaways. You know why? I'd rather throw the ball away instead of giving up a sack, and now I'm costing us yardage. Drew Brees was great at that. Tom Brady was great at that. Like the good quarterbacks back in the day, like not even back in the day, like 5, 7, 8 years ago, just throw the ball away. No need for you to be taking a sack, man. And then Derrick Henry fumbling again. Now, granted, that was a great punch out by Aiden Hutchinson. But again, you fumble in the 4th quarter, taking points off the board. Turnovers and sacks are costing this team right now against good teams. You can beat up on the Browns in week 2. But when it comes to the Bills and the Detroit Lions, you should have won. You should have won those games. Those are the good teams that you got to face sooner or later, again in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl. And you're losing these games like this, you're a front runner. What it looks like. You can beat up on the bad teams, but when a good team show up, you fold, and you fold at the worst time. Now, that Lions offense is looking pretty good right now. Even without Ben Johnson, they struggled in the first game. Not a very good week 1, but they rode the ship. 4 rushing touchdowns in this game, 224 yards rushing. Just ran the ball down down the Baltimore Ravens' throat. Jared Goff didn't have to do much. He was a great game manager. Only had 1 touchdown, but he was 20 of 28. That's what I'm looking for. That's what you need. You ran the ball more. You ran the ball more than you passed the ball, which was perfect. So that alleviates so much stress from Jared Goff trying to be a Joe Burrow type where you got to throw the ball 30, 40 times to win. It's a balanced team. That's what the Detroit Lions are right now. And after week 1, I know it's only week 3, but it looks like they're going to be one of the top teams in the NFC once again. That's the breakdown of week 3. I'll be back for week 4, and I'll be back a little later in the week for Thursday Night Football. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys soon.